right now because we're still here.
Oh, whenever you stop talking, just coincidentally, as the map gets up, I just don't talk because I think we're going into an intro, and I'm like, oh, that's my part. Oh, hi.
Well, you know what? That's good though. That's synergy. That's finally the years of us working together paying off. What I do need to do, knowing that information now, is one of these times just totally troll it up and just full screen your camera. Be like, all right, guys, go to the game. We'll see you in a sec, and then just like say nothing and leave it up and see how long it takes you to be like, Rifkin, hello, are you muted?
Oh, you're not saying anything?
Yeah. But okay. We are hopping into game number 1 in the semifinals. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map. He's been playing quite well today. It's going to be our red Zerg player from Team Liquid. Give it up for Snute.
In the bottom right, as the yellow Protoss, it's Arthur.
So I had an interesting question asked to me, and I think I finally thought of my answer. Someone asked me, like, what are your favorite aspects about the new maps? And they're not overgrowth.
No. Okay. Be cheeky all you want, Rifkin. My favorite thing about these maps, okay, a totally serious answer, is that we are constantly looking for all of the bad parts of maps that are going around now. Right? We're looking for like the wide open spaces that mutas can like abuse. We're looking for the open ramps of the natural that are just like, oh my god. We're looking for thirds that are absolutely effing terrible to take. And we say, no, it isn't really that bad. Or no, it's not great, but it's interesting. Like this is so much better than when we looked at the maps last season. We're like, no.
Yeah, like there was a lot of red flags that came up pretty quickly, but this one's actually still a lot of cool things to figure out. Again, like maybe this can rushes, or we are playing with Arthur, so some really cheesy, abusive Warp Prism play or Stargate play that looks to possibly be coming out. But I think, okay, I'll put my cheeky answer aside, and the thing I'm liking is actually the struggle for the fourths. I think the third, I'm not a big fan of the third bases being some difficulty to take on some of these maps, but I do like the idea of like the fourth being actual, I guess, contest for some. It's really hard to look at a map and see a Zerg player take 4 bases so quickly, so easily, with no real repercussions to it. So it's nice knowing that there's going to be, I guess, and I'm not saying this just because, you know, anti-Zerg or whatever, even for Terrans, you know, or whatever. Just the idea of these outlying bases possibly being taken. What I envision, of course, are the late game scenarios, because I want to see those long maps. I don't know, I think it's cool that they've changed that up a little bit, but it's still the theme that's carried over from the last 2 seasons of map pools, right? Less big maps, more just, I guess, disparity between the third and the fourths, I guess. I mean, I don't know how to phrase that better, but it's interesting to see the differences come down. I still think on Echo, though, the cooling tower at that third is my favorite aspect of any of the new maps so far, though.
Yeah, I think Echo is it's shaping up to be everyone's favorite map. I think partial, like, caster bias affected you whether you liked it or not. Partial, like, it is a cool looking map.
I like
Partial,
the title
there was
set.
a really good game that was played on that map as well. Like, if it was a one-sided, we hated one player game on that map, maybe it didn't look as cool. But all that aside, I actually do think it is the best looking map in terms of like game, how the game played out so far.
I just like it because the tile set's really unique. Even maps like this one right now on Coda, it's not your typical desert map. In fact, it's got a little bit of difference here with the base layouts in the main and the natural and whatnot. So again, I'm gonna change my answer once more, and I'll say my favorite thing about all these new maps is even though we have similar styles with the jungle coming back out or the desert maps, they do look unique, they look new, and they look fresh. They don't look stale and reused. It's not Belshire just with different base layouts.
First, I want to point out something in the game. Quick burrow is really cool to see. Really cool. Second of all, I just want to sum all this up by saying it looks like the map designers actually like studied and paid attention. Well, I know it was wrong. I know it was good.
I don't know, being condescending like that, but speaking of the bro that you brought up, I think this is actually a really intelligent move. It's weird because Snoot's been doing a lot of these one base openers with speed, which is really cool to see, quite frankly, but whether it's blocking out the natural base like this, or the fact that you know Arthur is somebody who likes to abuse force fields heavily, burrow is a really smart move just to have in this game, period.
Yes, it is.
Arthur is really well known for abusing force fields. But whether he follows this up with anything further, we'll see. We do have the robo on the way, but well, for many players, it's an Immortal Centurion, and you would predict or something. It's most likely a Warp Prism out of a player like Arthur. But Forge starts, and he'll probably have to go for an Observer pretty quick to take his natural.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. It's the first time I think
yeah.
I've seen Snute go for this build, but it's definitely cool.
Oh, bit of a lag spike. That kind of, you know, that little repertoire just now, that reminds me a lot of the True versus Partying finals we had yesterday in the Alima League. Like, knock knock, coming in.
Oh, the banter.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
this really sucks. This is delay. This is for Snute.
Yeah.
This is worth every. If he never burrows another unit in the game, this was worth it already.
I would say so, because what do you really do? I mean, Arthur, he did have a second gateway already, and maybe there's on 2 more, and he like 4 gates and then takes his expansion. We've seen that versus proxy hatches, for instance. But it's so dedicated, and it wasn't near like proxy hatches 350, including the drone. Burrow was gas and minerals, so I wonder if that was technically cheaper or more expensive. So I'm gonna have to do like the calculations on how long the drones had to be in gas as compared to like how much they were mining minerals. I'm not gonna do that. But it just sounds better to have Burrow, you know, because it's gonna help you out in the later stages of the game, where Proxy Hatch doesn't help you out anymore when it comes to the 12-minute mark.
I feel really sad, by the way, about this whole being corrected on the Bender's LSD versus meth versus marijuana thing. I mean, it's LSD, 100%. I just feel so sad that I forgot this, because I was like the biggest Futurama fanboy. And I was just like...
one of the new seasons, though?
No, the cookie one is a fairly old one.
I thought it was like a season 6, you know, like the one that came after they were cut once.
Man, actually, when they came back, they had a real... It wasn't that funny. But there was one trick that was really good where they're like, the robots come to the bar and they're like, bartender, give us a screwdriver. He expected the orange drink or whatever. He just hands her like a literal screwdriver.
You sometimes sound like you're amused by the tiniest things. Well, here's the Warp Prism coming in. So speaking of Rifkin being amused.
Arthur is predictable with this, though. Snute should have known this was coming. He was not quite prepared for this. The roaches are popping now, but 4 sentries can hold off this ramp for a very long time, as long as he doesn't mess up on any of the force fields. In fact, he's going to get the Roach Form, which most importantly gets Roach Speed. So, regardless of how this goes to the main, the threat of an immediate counterattack isn't really there. It's going to take a long time to waddle across the map.
Wouldn't it be cool if Snute not only got that super fast burrow, but super fast tunneling claws?
Yeah.
Unintentionally just hard countered Arthur.
Oh, this is so sick, but Arthur's got no detection, so he actually saves all the drones. This is an attack where you actually lose all the drones, and that's part of the power to it. I mean, picking off tech is cool and all that jazz, but, man, that's a bit of a pain.
Ooh. Snute can't decide what to do. It looks like he was going to try and counterattack and then comes back home.
Oh, that lift up, though! Gets the force field, keeps things alive. Here comes that observer. And, now the damage is getting applied. Now the damage is getting done. Now, the problem for this, though, is this doesn't really showcase anything for the map, though. This is something that Arthur can pull off on literally any map as long as it's not scouted.
I was just gonna say that. This is not really... this isn't really helping. Like, oh my god, that was so imbalanced. Like, never put this map in the map pool. That's just Arthur being Arthur, so...
I guess the nice thing, though, is Snute did take a third really quickly, so it's not like he's stuck on 2 bases in a weird, awkward situation, but, I mean, it's a weird, awkward situation, but I guess now he's on 2 bases.
Yeah. If Snute goes for this high, he's gonna have like 4 Hydras. I don't know, just for
maybe. Range. I like the tunneling claws actually a lot, but you know what? Normally you leave these zealots to die, right? Because what's the point? You pick up the sentries and go home. He's actually got enough energy left because he didn't have to burn a ton in this attack to elevator out the zealots and keep the sentries alive. Or hell, if he wants to just recall because we brought the mothership, which almost never comes in this attack.
He's just recall. He has enough for a recall and a potent overcharge. So.
This was actually probably the best way we've seen Arthur execute this particular attack.
Yeah. Well, it can look like the strongest attack, and it can look like the weakest attack. If you have units in the main ready to go, even just like 6 roaches, it's already much less powerful. If you have nothing in the main base, then it looks totally imbalanced.
Well, I guess a lot of this was kind of thrown off, not just through Arthur's attack here, but, you know, Snute delayed the base for so long, maybe he thought he was going to be a lot safer than he was. Kind of this false sense of security, because he thought, oh, Arthur's going to take forever to take that natural, there's no way he attacks me with anything. But now the recall's going to have to go off and immediately gets out alive. Man, look at the resources lost for this, too. Arthur loses next to nothing. For what is a layer tech, for what was Roach Speed getting cancelled, the Roach Ward itself dying, spawning pool going down. So much bad just happened for Snute. And I guess what kind of sucks is I don't know if he's realized the spawning pool died, because he can't make a new layer. He can't actually build anything else for tech.
Luckily, he has all the lair tech needs for now, but yeah, it's good.
True
It's
enough.
quite important. He takes the danger base. His top right base. The Orb is still on the field, though, so he's just kind of hoping this won't be scouted, because he's going to take a long time to get over there. Those Hydras don't have speed. Neither do the Roaches, because it was canceled. And he forgot to get it again.
Oh, if it actually takes a third while this goes on, too. You know, I just feel like with the amount of times we've seen Arthur in things like the Alima League or the IEM qualifiers, we see him pull off a lot of these cheeses, and because players know who they're coming up against, they are well prepared ahead of time. And we haven't really seen good results out of Arthur in any tournament we've cast him in, but this is a good start for him to be in the semifinals, and well, he's not up 1 against Snute just yet. He's in a really nice lead for game number 1. I thought I'm going to be wicked sad if he loses this. Now, his army is kind of big behind this. He's got upgrades like crazy. However, Snoot's Hydralisk, if he can catch Arthur off guard, maybe catches them with the sentries out of position. I don't know. There's little mistakes that could go down that could definitely get Snute some headway in this game, but easier said than done.
Right, yeah. What Arthur has is actually very effective against what Snute has. Even if Snute was maxed out on Roach Hydra, I'd still be like, Blink Immortal +2 with sentries can win versus basically anything. If he had 14 Storm Hosts, I'd be a little less inclined to say that, but that's what he has, so... I mean, Arthur might screw up here. He might. But...
I mean, it's a big concave out of these Hydras. What tech did he get before the... Okay, so he got Groove Spines before the layer went down. Doesn't have speed, but he's fighting on creeps, so it's not like he would get benefit from muscular augments anyways. As long as he takes a concave at the bottom of the ramp, I think Snoot's in a pretty okay spot.
Yes, Arthur should go around the other way. Yeah, go to the 4th. That's there's no ramp. You may be thinking it. Well, even if he doesn't think there's a 4th base, that's still the better option, because you're not going down a ramp into a concave. You're going on even level into, well...
Yeah, you spread out a little bit
easier.
He's got Blink for this, too. His tech is looking fantastic. It's weird to see the Immortals, because they're kind of like, oh, we expected Roaches. Why do you have so many Hydras? But, ooh, this position on the top ramp is fantastic. I don't think Arthur expected this to be in range. I know I didn't. However, despite that, oh, these +2 weapon upgrades. We saw Arium play this same sort of strategy out, or similar strategy with Blinkstalkers, and it didn't work because the upgrades weren't there. But this time, the upgrades are here for Arthur, and we're seeing just how good Blinkstalkers can be.
There's a small counterattack for Snute at the 3rd base, but this army is just now unbeatable. Snute really had a big bank behind it anyways.
GG. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Arthur will take game number 1 in this best of 3. But it is going to be Snoot's map.